Hey G-Fans, GojiFan93 here, and welcome back to the 8th day of Godzilla-thon 2014. Today we will be taking a look at Son of Godzilla. That glare. Anyway, so, alright, so we are getting into the era of movies that started to, besides Destroy All Monsters, which is next, but I believe this is the movie that kind of started Godzilla turning less into an anti-hero or metaphor in all seriousness into a kid-friendly, waves at the camera and all that stuff. Now, to some fans, this is a really good movie, and to other fans, it's a really terrible movie. My opinion is, I'm not a fan of this movie. I will admit that there are a few parts in this movie that are really funny, and parts that I do like, and I will talk about that. But overall, I'm not a big fan of Son of Godzilla. So, anyways, the story, I'm just going to go over it quickly because it's kind of there. Okay. Alright, so the story pretty much is, I'm just going to go over it quickly, about the scientists who are trying to make a weather machine that can make it, so that they can grow more food, because one of the scientists was saying that in the next couple 100 years or what, I don't exactly remember the year that he said, but that the population, we're gonna be overpopulated on the planet, so that means less resources, less food, and all that. So what they're trying to do is make this invention that is a weather machine that can help produce more food. Which I actually think is a pretty clever idea. I actually like that. I think it's a pretty original concept. I like it. But it's kind of weird because it doesn't really fit into this movie. But anyways, so yeah, they end up coming across a bunch of Gamacruses. I don't know what the plural is for that. But they find an egg which has Minya in it, which is Godzilla's son. Now, they don't explain, and I don't understand how Minya's there and Godzilla's not, and this kind of goes into the thing of, well, is Godzilla is he a father or a mother, or is he asexual? I don't know. Someone can explain that in the comments, but I don't know if we'll start a big debate. I don't want to start a big debate, but whatever. This is a 60s movie, okay, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, so they end up cracking it open. They end up beating on Minya, which is kind of sad because Minya can't even defend himself because he's just born. But then Godzilla comes over and totally kicks all their asses. I do like the part where Godzilla just grabs one of the Gamacruses, whatever, and he just starts smashing their body on the ground, just one after another, and it's just, I really like that. And it's funny because after the battle's done with, and this is the part of the movie that I actually liked about what they did with the writing and how they made Godzilla less of a monster and more of like they really gave him like human traits here. So like, it's just funny when he takes down all the Gamacrus monsters and he just leaves Minya, and Minya's just like, hey, where are you going? I mean, he's just crawling on all fours, and it's just pretty funny. And then Godzilla comes back, and he puts him on his tail, which I think is just adorable. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's not my favorite movie, but there are some parts in this film that I do grin at, and you can't help it but go, okay, that's funny. So yeah, he just ends up taking him home, and and what I like is that they actually go into Godzilla like training Minya on how to like breathe fire and be the king of the monsters, basically. And there's like this one scene where Minya, he's all grown up, and basically he's like jumping over Godzilla's tail because Godzilla's trying to sleep, and then his tail's just swinging like this, and Minya just starts jumping over it, and then he jumps and lands on Godzilla's tail, and it's like, oh, and then Godzilla's like, what? And then he just falls over, and Godzilla goes back to sleep, that was pretty funny. That's another one of those scenes that you can't help but giggle and be like, all right, that was good. Let's see, then we get a new monster, Kumonga, which is the spider monster, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Kumonga, but, he's an alright monster. And so, he gets into a fight with Minya at first, webs them all up, and then Godzilla comes to the rescue. basically they kick Kumonga's ass, and towards the end of the film they figure out how, or they finally get their weather machine to work, and it starts snowing. And this is the part of the film that is like the most heartwarming scene ever. It's it starts to snow, and the humans get off the island, and Godzilla and Minya are just, they're basically left on the island, and Minya's like freezing, he's falling on the ground, and he's just like, and Godzilla, for some reason Godzilla wasn't really showing a lot of sympathy towards him at first, but then Godzilla like kneels down, and then they just hug each other, and then they sit and they hibernate, and like just that one scene, that one frame that just kind of zooms out with Godzilla and Minya just hugging each other. I mean, it is the most heartwarming scene you'll ever see. I mean, the fact that it's a Godzilla movie, yet you see something like this, and you're just like, oh, it's really funny. Oh, and I forgot to mention also, when Godzilla was training Minya on how to breathe fire, it's hilarious when he's trying to blow fire and he just keeps on blowing smoke rings, and Godzilla's just like, all right, I've had it, and he just steps on his tail, and then Minya's just like, oh, and just starts shooting. It's just really hilarious. And I don't know if they repeated that scene for stock footage in Godzilla's Revenge. When I watch it, I'll have to remember that, or maybe I'm thinking otherwise. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, overall, it's not my favorite film, because I like the darker Godzilla movies. I like it where he's sort of a anti-hero, where he's a metaphor, where it's taken more seriously. But I can understand why some fans like this film. I understand it completely, and if you do, that's totally fine. I can see some good parts about it, but I also see how it turned Godzilla less into a serious character and into this just child-friendly character, which basically dragged the series down from there. Yeah, and also the suit, Godzilla's suit, I hate it. That it's my least favorite Godzilla suit. Just the way his face is. I mean, just look at this. Just look at his face. Look at that. I mean, it's just like, what happened? It's just like his face went. It just crushed his face up. I don't know. And I don't even have to talk about Minya, because he's just a gray turd. I mean, it's just like. So it doesn't even look anything like Godzilla. But on an interesting note, hopefully this weekend I'll do an unboxing video of the Diamond Reissue X Plus Minya that I got. So I'm really excited to get that soon. Let's see, what else am I missing? Oh yeah, the music of the movie. I'm kind of also on the fence about the music with this. Like, there are parts in the movie that I love the soundtrack. It's really good. But then there are other parts where I'm just kind of bored and it's not really like interesting. But it fits the theme of the movie, I guess. And, it's not one of my favorite soundtracks, but if I had to listen to it, I would. So, I mean, overall, it's just split 50-50. You have fans who hate it and fans who love it. And, you might have some fans who are in the middle, but as for me, if I had to choose between this film and, any others, I would want to pick the others. But, once again, it's not a terrible film. I mean, obviously, there are worse. Godzilla's Revenge, but it's just not my Godzilla. I like Godzilla when he's dark and kind of a monster, not a kid-friendly father. But that's it. So that's all I got for you guys for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow for Destroy All Monsters, and yeah, I'll see you guys till then. Stay big, G fans.